that sold me something on eBay that said, hey, it was a handwritten note from a 12-year-old, that said, thank you very much for your purchase. We appreciate it. And it reminded me of when I was 10 years old, except I didn't have eBay and didn't have all these options to buy singles online. So it was refreshing. So it just shows you kind of all generations.
The hobby's exploding and the happiness is absurd. Dustin, get in here. Let's tell, Dustin, Dustin, how much happiness has getting into collecting Pokemon and flipping Pokemon been for you?
Hey, sports card collectors and investors, thanks for joining me again for another episode. Appreciate you tuning in. If you're new here, please subscribe. We've got more than 165 collectibles investing, sports card investing, comic book investing, and all sorts of types of collectibles type videos on this show. And we come out with daily content. So if you are looking for something that's consistent, that you can find it every day, you've got something to tune into, that's us. That's our show. There are a lot of great shows out there for sure, but we would really appreciate the support if you could subscribe and tune in. So today I'm excited. Well, first off, let me just say thank you for all those that sent love out after I was able to get on the Tea with Gary V show, his morning show yesterday. And it is July 22nd, I believe, today. So July 21st show if you're seeing this sometime in the future. But I was guest number 3, and I'm right there at about the 14-minute mark if you catch this and want to find it. But I was just really excited to be able to get on yesterday, and thank you so much for all those that reached out and really kind of gave some love. I feel like the channel has really evolved over the first 100 days, and we just haven't been doing it for that long. And I'm really excited for the future and the potential opportunities that we have coming. So want to say thank you there. Also, quick announcement. I was talking actually with my wife yesterday, and we were talking cards. My wife is not into cards, but to give you some background, she was born and raised in Florence, Italy, and in Italy, of course, soccer is king as far as sports go, all over the country, and that goes for a lot of European nations as well, as most of you already know. But she was asking me, she's like, hey, look, when I was a kid, my siblings and I, we had these soccer stickers and we had these soccer cards that we had. Why don't you talk about those, or do they have any sort of a value to them? And with all these soccer card content that's come out, really excellent content. Another guy another creator that I really like watching is Flippin' Steve, and he's got a few good videos on that subject. But it made me think I haven't seen a ton on vintage soccer. I know there's a lot of newer stuff with the Messis and the Ronaldos, Cristiano Ronaldo, and et cetera, Mbappe. But I'm going to do some work on vintage soccer, research it, and I will come to you with those videos just as kind of something a little different, to look into, as something that I don't know if I'm going to go full bore into it, but I want to research it and I want to understand it better. So I will document it and share it with you all if you are interested in those videos. So today we are going to be talking about 5 cards, or a handful of cards that are moving up the ladder. I've picked basketball, there is a football card, and there is a baseball card as well. And I'm using the card ladder data tool is how I'm getting this information. And for those that are watching, I know I say this each video, but this is not necessarily a buy it now, these are the cards to buy now video. Those are not the type of videos that I am putting out. Nothing against those at all whatsoever. But I'm really just looking at which cards are moving within the market, and the data I'm looking at is over the last 14 days. And so the card ladder has 5 different ladders, different variations, different formulas. I'm using the score ladder, and that is based on just transactions and pricing over the last 14 days. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it, guys. I've got first off, the one card. This is one that I missed on. I am upset with myself over this one. The first one on the list is Trey Young. It's a 2018 Mosaic rookie card. This one has shot up the ladder, I think 400 or 500 spots based on recent transactions. And the reason why that has mostly, it looks like, is the price basically doubled over the last 2 days. And so this is one where this should have been an obvious one that I should have caught, that I did not catch. Trey Young is a guy, I don't have loads of his cards. I've got a few. But I like his upside. I really like his upside as a player, whether he stays on the Hawks or if he moves on to the Lakers or another team, contending team. But this is one that was very, very obvious right in front of my face that I wish that I had seen. So 2 days ago, this one was selling in the $200 to $212 range, and probably even less if we're going back a couple of months. I'm certain it was less, actually, if we go back a few months' time. And so now sales have ballooned up to $400 for this card in a PSA 10, and it makes total sense when you're looking at, there's kind of that, the player to watch when I'm looking at Trey is Luka Doncic. His cards, usually Trey, I don't want to say this is kind of how it is all the time, but when I'm looking at his cards, Trey's usually in the same exact set. So if we're looking at Mosaic PSA 10 rookies, Trey usually is falling behind anywhere from 25 to 35% of what Luka's prices are. So this was one where Luka's Mosaic PSA 10 has gone up over $1,000, and it might even be, I haven't checked the price, it might even be at $1,100, $1,200 now. But the point is that Trey sitting there at $200 was a value if you're making that comparison. That's one data point to make a comparison to. You guys know that that's how I explain kind of a lot of my theories is I'll look at, hey, what's best case scenario for this rookie class, and then it's kind of a multiplier that I'm using in my mind, where am I comfortable going in on it at. And so at $200, this Mosaic PSA 10 Trey, I believe, was a really good value, and now it's $400, and so now it's the decision of, are we chasing at $400 or is it going to $800? That's all. You have to kind of figure that out for yourself if you're on the Trey bandwagon, and I do as well. So that's the first card. I'm irritated at myself that I didn't catch this sooner, or I might have picked one up there over the last few days, but that's what's fun about this game is, we pay attention, we watch the trends, sometimes we win and sometimes we lose. Next two cards on the ladder are both LeBron cards, and since LeBron cards do get a lot of kind of exposure anyway, and we do know that LeBron cards in general are just at all-time highs, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. I'm just going to gloss over those. But the number two card is the Topps Chrome Refractor, so it's the very rare version of the Topps Chrome in a PSA 9, and I believe it's up in the $28,000, $29,000 range. I did a video a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, on the PSA 10 of that card being at $40,000, $45,000, so I'm assuming that probably means the PSA 10 refractor has moved up in price, which would not surprise me at all. Based on the scarcity, and it's LeBron, and it's that Topps Chrome set. So the third card on the ladder is a Bazooka card in a PSA 9. I have not been following that one as much, but it is one that has gained ground, and it makes sense, based on the look of the card in general. It's a very cool card. So like I said, I'm going to gloss over this because I want to get, there's a kind of in hobby talk, there is something happened here in the last 24 hours, and it's Bol Bol. Bol Bol, and this is Manute Bol's son. He's a rookie, and there was an exhibition game, and he went off in the exhibition game. And actually, I watched the highlights, and it was exciting when you watch the highlights. I'll be perfectly honest, I have not been following Bol Bol, his career, to know kind of where he's at. I haven't watched any other highlights except for the highlights from the exhibition game. And this dude, of course, he reminds me of his dad, except he's dropping threes. And his dad was not dropping threes. For those that were around that watched Manute Bol back in the day, he definitely has a broad skill set. The way that Bol Bol was running the floor, throwing down dunks, it was like, what? It was pretty incredible to watch, but the market responded to that, and essentially on the ladder, you've got the PSA 9 and the Raw card literally have come out of nowhere, and now they're in the top 10, it looks like, on the ladder. The PSA 9 Silver Prism rookie, 2 weeks ago, $40. Now it's selling at $200. The Silver Prism Raw, $10 a week ago. Now it's $100. The thing went 10x overnight after an exhibition game. So it shows you just how wild, volatile the market is. And I mean, who knows? Maybe Bol Bol will just come out. Maybe he is the next Giannis. Who knows? I don't think that's going to happen. It's just one exhibition game, but that's what's kind of fun about the speculation on this stuff. But it just shows you, how quickly things can move. So wanted to definitely cover those. The next card is a baseball card, 2019 Topps Fernando Tatis Jr., and this is the Rainbow Foil PSA 10. This one has moved up the ladder quickly, and again, price point is a big player. So 3 days ago, 7/19, this card was at $280. At 7/21, so actually in a 2-day span of time, it moved up to $400. And I didn't look at how many sales this is, so bear with me on that. This could be just a few sales. It could be kind of an outlier. I do know, though, that Card Ladder does check that data. They have what's called a sales in purgatory feature, to where they're looking at all the sales, and if there's something that seems a little suspect that's outside of the normal range for an auction or buy it now, they hold that sale, attempt to find out if that card was actually paid for, was it relisted, and so they do not include those sales in their data until they've confirmed those things, which is a nice feature. And I believe other market tools do a similar thing, just to try to keep that data integrity. So that's something that I wanted to just point out. So that is number 4 on the list here that's made some moves here in just a matter of a couple of days, and that's a popular upcoming player in Tatis Jr. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the hottest player in the NFL currently, the reigning Super Bowl MVP, Pat Mahomes. And this is a card, again, this one really should be no surprise at the movement of the card, based on if we're looking at just the scarcity of the card and the fact that it's Mahomes. This is more on a higher price point for sure. But this card just shot up literally 500 spots on Card Ladder because of the movement. It's so on July 15th we have sales of 1,950, and then now we've got sales at $3,750, literally doubled in price. But this is the 2017 Select Pat Mahomes. It's a PSA 9 even. It's not even a PSA 10, but it's field level. So this is the same as its Select field level. So this is kind of the comparison would be courtside in basketball. And so for folks that are collecting basketball cards, you understand that courtside is very rare. For Select, it goes concourse is the most common, premier level is medium level, and then courtside is the most rare. It's the same in football, except instead of courtside, it's field level, and those are rare cards. They're difficult to pull, and so I'm certain that the pop report, even in a PSA, this one's PSA 9, but even the 10s they're going to be low because they're just not easy cards to find. And there are parallels of this card too at field level that are going for huge money. Very, very cool card for sure. What do you guys think of these? I try to mix it up to have some basketball, football, and a baseball. What are your thoughts? Do you own any of these cards? Are you targeting any or similar cards to this? Or are there alternatives to these cards that you're like, you're seeing this trend and you're like, you know what, I'm going to check out this set because maybe there's a comparison there that could be a good value. Hey guys, thank you very much for joining. I love having you. If you have not subscribed, like I said, please go ahead and subscribe. We've got the daily content coming, and we will keep it flowing. So thank you very much for joining us, and have a great day.